we also have a friend who's got a very interesting form of humor. So this is hot things, but not hot sauce. And he was on a family vacation, and he thought it would be amusing to trick his father-in-law, who he evidently likes. So I don't understand where this is coming.
That's how it goes.
It kind of might have been good in his head, but not in practice. So they ordered guacamole. So he switched the guacamole for a bowl of wasabi.
Yeah, look, both green.
Both green. And the father-in-law dipped like a massive chip in it, had a bite, and then like kind of grabbed his throat in his chest and fell out of his...
Elizabeth!
That's right, different. And said the words, "The guacamole was off!" Fell to the floor. Now, he's never admitted that he's done that.
Love my barbecue.
Gdayall, and welcome to episode 26. And today it's all about hot sauce. Ah! Welcome, Phil. Yes. Well, after that, it seems like you might have had an earlier tasting.
I should have. I don't know if it goes into coffee. I was thinking of that on the way over.
Yeah.
You can put hot sauce in coffee. But you can't. Because it has, most of them will have vinegar in it. And the vinegar will turn the milk off. Yeah.
But you could put chili powder in your hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Because that's really nice. Mm-hmm. Now, are hot sauces your thing?
Yeah, I like hot sauces. And depends on my mood, but I could tolerate that.
I like the Mexican ones, like Tapatio, that I grew up with. The Dave stuff, I'll leave that to people that are trying to prove something.
But once in a while, you want that little extra kick.
Well, that's true. Chili with one L or two.
One, of course.
Of course.
I never had two L's in chili till I came here, and then they spell everything with two L's. Why?
I don't know why they spell...
It's not even their product.
And it's, you know how they spell... Remember how they spell super? Supa. S-U-P-A.
Sounds like somebody from the... Hey, where's the super? Yeah. Now, you didn't have supers in California.
No, I didn't live in any buildings that needed supers. I'm sure there might be some in maybe San Francisco. Yeah.
We had supers. Now they're not supers. Now they were superintendents.
Right. So they're working for the landlord.
Yeah.
The man.
We always had the big thing of keys.
We only had the janitors at school that did that. Mr. Betancourt, Mr. Reese. But Phil, yes. East Coast, West Coast, I've got something for you.
Oh, okay.
This is the a new segment we've got, the Jerry Springer Stinger.
You're springing this on me.
I am.
We didn't. This wasn't in.
No, it's not.
We do like a rehearsal,
this
people. But this wasn't even in there.
No, it's for Flavia, actually.
Flavia.
But I have to read this. This is from the New York Times, of all places. It's an article. I won't read the whole thing, but it's the best bagels are in California.
Yeah, bullshit. Oh, sorry. You can bleep that out.
Excuse me. It's a family show.
Yes.
Actually, Berkeley. At Boy Chick Bagels.
Yeah, that's because what did they put in their bagels before besides yeast, malt, water, sugar, and flour, and the special ingredient in Berkeley? I can imagine what that is. Yes.
Little devil's lettuce, possibly.
Yeah, little Maui Wowie. Let's go to experience some bagels, dude.
Well, I don't care what you say. I'm going to go by this. I'm going to read this one paragraph.
Yeah, and they also say that California is the best pizza too, right?
This is a New Yorker writing this, by the way.
Well, she probably came from California.
Oh my God! Just face it. The world's changing. This is where the writer, me, the author of this article, former resident of New York City from Brooklyn, as a matter of fact, smugly tells you that these bagels are good for California bagels. Excellent by West Coast standards. But no, to be clear, Emily Winston's bagels are some of the finest New York bagel-style bagels I've ever tasted. They just happen to be made in Berkeley.
Yeah, the key is style. Okay? My friend from Jersey used to say, if it says style, it means it's not made there. It's not a
no, they don't make them in New York and then fly to Berkeley every day. You have to deal with that. Yeah. And she also gave a name of, that's Boy Chick Bagels in College Avenue, Berkeley. Courage Bagels in Los Angeles. Midnight Bagel in San Francisco and Pop's Bagels in Culver City.
Very good. Well, next time I go to California, I'll definitely try a bagel. But I know that when I was out there was a bagel bakery. We went into West LA.
Yeah.
And not for the bagels, but for the Paellas. Those Paellas, it's just you can't get Paellas everywhere.
I don't know what a Paella is.
You'll have to look it up, darling. You have to look it up.
We knew he wouldn't take that well.
Oh, well, yeah, no, that's true. So, okay.
Now you got me fired up again.
We're going to have another venting one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to it. So, today's topics.
Wait a minute. Let's go back to, if it was from the National Enquirer, maybe I would have believed you,
It's the New York Times.
But what do you read
Baby.
when you have nothing else to read when you're in the toilet? Okay.
You are shocking. Oh, my God. We'll get some semblance of something back. Okay, so we're going to cover a little history, some styles, what the Scoville rating is, which some people might know. What is the attraction? The ultimate guide to America's most popular brands and how to use them. And this is a little bit we're going to ask you a little later. Introduced by demand or requested? So did you bring them? Did you introduce people to them?
I can't tell you now.
No.
No. I'll wait till later.
Yeah, that's all right. Purchase is a gag gift. That's not very funny.
Mm-hmm.
We also have hot chips and powders because some of these people have moved on to expand their ranges. They also have the best names, which I adore, which we'll tell a few of them, and what we have in store. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's right.
Are we talking again?
Yeah, we're talking. All right. Okay. So we want to start off with, we'll have a disclaimer first.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
and this is something that you actually have. My husband signed one of these places to test or to taste, or we had, is it 3AM that we had a disclaimer for?
Yeah, we used to have a disclaimer for. I don't know. They did away with it. Maybe it didn't held up in court or something.
Something, but so before people taste it, they have to do this.
But there is disclaimers on the bottle.
Yes.
Okay, and like one of them, it says, no medical condition that would be aggravated, inflamed, or worsened by consumption. That's a pretty open statement. Right? When using, do not touch skin, eyes, or exposed body parts, including your privates. All right.
He's tasting hot sauce when they're naked. They're cooking bacon.
Well, you get a little bit on your hand. Anyway.
So it goes.
Yeah. Okay. I am 18 of sound mind. Now, most people that buy it that are 18, they're and somewhere else, I think, and not on the influence of drugs. Oh, okay. They mention that in the next sentence. Okay. No alcohol or medication. So that eliminates 98% of the population.
That's exactly right. I'm actually holding a product that's called Purebred Idiot Hot Sauce Stupid Hurts. And on the bottom of it, they have a danger sign for, and it's got 3,508,000 Scoville units, which we will discuss in a little bit.
Okay. And that comes in a little vial bottle with an eyedropper.
Yeah, little teeny tiny thing.
With a little red, white, not red, a yellow. That's yellow, right?
That is, yes, that's yellow.
Yellow, saying idiots only.
That's a perfect gift.
Yes.
Now we also have a fun fact. Frank's Red Hot, which is a Louisiana style sauce, is best known as the base of the original buffalo wings, a recipe from the Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
And the story was the woman that was running the bar, her 16-year-old son and his friends wanted a snack, so she cooked some chicken up in Frank's, and so it began.
Yeah. But it's not just pure Franks. You do it with butter
as well. And Tim Russert, who used to work before he passed away, he worked for NBC. He used to fly in buffalo wings, no matter where he was, every week.
Yeah, well, going back to the bagels, people who are traveling all across the U.S. come into us, buy bagels, and take them with them.
Well, that was one of the first things we did. I was like, I need a hot dog from a cart. I need a bagel.
Dishwater dog.
That's it.
Yeah.
And another fun fact we have, the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Mm-hmm. And they got their name from the nickname for Louis Armstrong, old Satchmo.
For his jazz quintet, which they couldn't be more different from each other.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it was like Anthony or Flea that came up with that one, but we'll work that out later.
Okay, I'm sure there's plenty more.
Yeah, there would be. There's heaps. But most of it involves danger, so,
Yeah, well, you live dangerously. All right, so look, we'll take our first little chili break here, and we'll be back tomorrow. No, tamale. Not tamale. Chili today.
Yay!
And if you notice, we're back in more clarity than ever before.
That's right. We've upgraded.
Yes, we got 2 new microphones, a little black box that controls everything.
And the dog's asleep.
And the dog's asleep, and Brendan's happy.
Yep.
That doesn't happen often, so that's a good thing.
It's just part of being a male. We're always miserable.
That's right. Yes, I don't know. Have some hot sauce and cheer up. Endorphins. But we'll talk about that later. Now we've got a little history. So I don't want to bore everyone with this, but it was interesting that the chili pepper plant has been around for at least 100,000 years. And they're believed to be the earliest among the earliest cultivated plants. They were domesticated in South America at least 6,000 years ago.
They're from the Aztecs.
They are.
Yes.
And when the conquerors or Mr. Columbus arrived, they got the name because he actually thought it was pepper to make ground pepper plants. But I'm sure he got a surprise when he tasted them. And so he brought chili peppers back to Europe, and then it kind of spread throughout the world and all the way through to Asia, where, Southeast Asian cooking is full of pepper and hot stuff. So
lots of hot stuff.
I mean,
it's hot temperature-wise there, and then they eat hot stuff, and then they sweat, and sweat makes you cool.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't get that. Like, it doesn't work for me. But I understand that.
That's the logic.
Oh, no. Well, I do like the Aztecs and the South Americans because I've got my chocolate from them as well. So all these things that traveled. For many Americans, Tabasco sauce would be the quintessential hot sauce. It's usually on every diner table.
Yes, and that's like one of the first ones out there, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So,
like Macahaney, Edward Macahaney.
Yeah, I was going to ask how to pronounce that because I just know it as Tabasco, and then it got fancy with his whole name on it. And I never had to learn it.
Yeah, but he grew his peppers in Louisiana.
That's correct.
Okay, where they still on Avery Island, wherever the Avery Island is. But, here's a little thing that I found out when I went to Lafayette,
yes,
Louisiana, to go visit the folks over at Louisiana Hot Sauce.
Oh, yes, I like that one.
And all of their peppers, including Tabasco, come out of Texas.
Really?
Yeah, they come out of Texas. They get mashed over there. It comes in big trucks, and then they put them in their cask and do what they got to do them in Louisiana.
Oh.
Yeah, so they ferment them and cure them and whatever, flavor them. I know with Tabasco, they put them in big...
like barrels. Yeah, because that's that sort of smoky flavor from that.
Yeah.
Louisiana sauce, I think it has a richer, to me, it has a richer sort of flavor to it. It's not as sharp for me.
Yeah, because Tabasco sauce is quite sharp.
Yeah,
that's a nice way to put it. I mean, it's hotter. Where other Tabasco sauce, and we'll get into that a little bit later, have different profiles.
And as you know, it's in one of my favorite things, which is a Bloody Mary. Yeah. Yes.
And then one thing I didn't know, just looking at your little notes here, that McElhaney, he used discarded cologne bottles to put the sauce into.
There you go.
That's why they come in those little shaker bottles.
There you go. You got your early recycling.
There's a little,
I wonder if that had anything to do with the Great Glass War when they were trying not to with Heinz.
That's with Heinz. So where would you find all these? Because, if you buy cologne, especially those days, it would have been, you buy it once a year.
No, but remember, bathing wasn't as much of a thing.
So you used a lot more cologne.
Yeah, because you had, and washing their clothes, because there wasn't, there was a lot of stench, I think, going around. So you would.
So you got all the Gina Tay bottles and put them in there.
I just think if anyone ever watched Al Swearingen, I'm trying to think of the name of the show, it'll come to me. He had his suit cleaned once a year. So you can imagine.
Yes.
and
then also they smoke, so you get all that smoke smell onto clothes and stuff. You know how that goes.
Well, and think about walking around the streets. What was in the streets?
Oh, all that horse manure.
Yes, that's a very lovely way to put it.
Yeah, manure. Like
Yes.
the Seinfeld thing. That's a nice word. You never know.
Maybe that's why hot sauce was so popular. It built up your immunity as well.
Killed you.
Everything.
Killed you. Squirt up your nose. Kill your smell sinuses and stuff.
Yeah, everything else. So that was it. And now, probably the biggest development that kind of took over the world, because I remember when we brought it in, and then I saw it everywhere, was Sriracha Sauce.
Yes.
So that was in.
And it came from Southern California.
That's right. Good old LA plant.
Yeah, I think near Garden Grove, not Garden Grove, but near Garden Grove, where
Yes.
the plant was. And they just recently, about a year or two ago, some neighbors were complaining. It's like, oh, wait, I bought this house by the airport. Why are planes flying over me? Well, I bought a house next door to a plant that makes hot sauce, and why do I get that smell of hot sauce? Hello?
That's where you moved to.
Yeah, so they were going to shut them down. Of course, one person complains, and then the council listens to it, and they put up a stink. Oh, why is this going on? And then he basically said, well, fine, I got all these other people, because the word got around, all these other cities and towns that would want me into their place to bring all the employment, bring all the jobs there. I'll leave. They changed their mind.
They did.
Yes.
And that area, like, manufacturing has changed, and you need to keep what you want around. And
Yes.
I actually love the story of David Tran, because in California we had a large influx after Vietnam War of Vietnamese that came over, and his family was one of the refugees families that came over, and then this is a Thai sort of style sauce, so it's like a sweet chili sauce, but not quite. But he marketed it to the Vietnamese restaurants. So when you order pho or any of those places, there's always a bottle of sriracha on the table.
Now, I remember having it. We had a business in Anaheim.
Yep.
And going to a local store run by Vietnamese. And they used to make like a steak sandwich, so to speak, with mushrooms and stuff on it. And I remember putting the Sriracha sauce on it then. That would have been really at the beginning, because that was in the mid 80s, like 85.
Yeah, so he started in 80. So it's like rooster sauce as well, because it's got a rooster on the bottle. Yes. And then what we've seen in the last sort of 5-10 years is sriracha flavored chips, there's sriracha flavored noodles, there's sriracha flavored everything.
And then they got other sriracha people making sriracha sauce, and it looks almost in the same bottle and the same, so the copycat.
Yes. So
we talked about copycats, last week.
Yes, we did. Mm-hmm. I think there's a Melinda's one that looks very similar.
It's a squeezed bottle, but it doesn't. Is there sriracha? I can't say. No, that's a wing sauce.
Oh, is it? Oh, but she has a sriracha as well. Mm-hmm. So that is sort of a history of how it came. And people have been using it. And I suppose we'll throw Franks in there as well with buffalo wings, because that made a dish.
But just going back to the sriracha, you know why it's in that big squeeze bottle? Because that's what the chefs use. And he was selling them initially to the restaurant trade.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So now we got style.
And there's a few styles. There is, Louisiana style, which is the first one, the traditional one.
And you got picante.
Yes, it's the Mexican one, which is like Valentina. So that is less vinegary. It's more pepper based and tomatoey. Yeah, so that's also.
Maybe that would go in the coffee. No.
You don't need it in the coffee.
All right, and then sriracha.
Yes.
Which we talked about.
Yep.
And then we got the green and the red chili.
So you can use that as a base for enchilada sauces and for different sauces as well. So that's loosely hot sauce, but you can use it across things, even like when you're making Mexican rice, stick them in there.
Yeah, and just about all of the hot sauces are all natural.
They are.
Okay, they have things like xanthan gum, which is a natural product to thicken it and stuff like that. Otherwise, it'd be too runny. And because of what they have in them, like a lot of vinegar and I think even peppers, or some things have tomatoes in it, the acidity of it just makes it, last forever.
Well, there's a product that we have in front of us, which is they're Tabasco peppers in vinegar. So it's a Texas Pete brand, but Louisiana does them as well. So where that's sort of a sauce.
They're packed in there like sardines.
That is, but you use the vinegar in there to put on, like Herman, my stepdad, whom I adore, as we all know. He has a bottle of this hanging around, and then you can chew on those.
And now my first thing I remember Now that I'm looking at that, and my memory's going backwards.
Yes.
Okay. So when I was a young boy living in the Bronx.
Right.
Okay, and going to the local bodega and getting some hot chips and putting ketchup on it. And I remember them having it wouldn't have been Texas pizza at the time, but having a bottle of peppers just like this.
Yep. And
putting that vinegar onto the things, and also with Tabasco.
Yeah.
So with the ketchup, so they were spicing up their hot chips.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is like just a little cross culture sort of where you put your hot sauce.
Yeah.
And hot sauce is based with vinegar, and they basically last forever.
Yeah, because it's a natural preservative.
And the chili is a preservative as well, and they have salt in them, so
yeah, no bugs will come near it. I'm not going there. I'm gonna get killed. It's too hot.
That's right. Yeah. The mold runs. There's nothing that is going to do anything.
Yeah, and then speaking of bugs and things like that, you know that if you use a hot sauce and you're getting bugs on, like your tomato plants or whatever, a natural way to kill a lot of bugs, put it in a spray bottle and spray it onto your plants.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and you see your plants dance after that. Like, hey, you're getting that south side.
I've got a nectarine tree I might give that treatment to later. Or actually, when I say I might, I mean
just make sure the wind is not blowing back into your face. Okay. Otherwise, you go blind.
That's right. I'll make sure he puts his safety glasses on, which we don't have. Now, actually, to go back to when we were talking about the perfume bottles and Tabasco, and I said the show's Deadwood, and it takes place in South Dakota, 1800s, and elsewhere in Virginia. It's the men that got a suit cleaned once a week, and they used to all have to pay, I forgot how much it was for a bath, but you'd be lucky if you got in the water after someone else. You didn't get fresh water every time.
Oh, yeah.
See, we forget. We live in this deodorant, air freshener world where people went through.
So the Scoville
was
from a pharmacist. These pharmacists were in everything.
They were busy.
Yeah, they were doing chocolates.
It was
they
all
were
the
doing
cocaine.
sodas. Yeah. So this is Wilbur.
Yes, I love that name.
Oh, Wilbur. Wilbur Scoville. So he did you could say that way.
You could do that. A Scoville organoleptic test.
Okay, that sounds close enough.
I think so too. Yeah. I'll spell it if people want it later, but I'm not doing it now.
But now standardized as the Scoville scale. Yes. So he did this in 1912, working for Parker Davis Pharmaceutical, and it measures the pungency. You get to learn to talk on this show too. Yeah.
I'll tell you a story in a second.
The spiciness and the heat of various chili peppers.
There you go.
Yeah. So he measured them, see how much sugar or water it took to dilute the chili extract before the taste fails and detected any heats. That's how we all came about it. Chemists used other high-performance liquid chromatography.
Chromatography?
Thank you. Correct me one more time, Barbara.
Snap. That's right.
Yeah, you have a rubber stamp that you could, I had another use a stamp on my head, yes.
My mother will be laughing right now.
So he did that to analyze the capsaicin concentration and even a fancy new equipment that uses, right now, how they do it, to do the Scoville test.
Still do
it's
that.
all done by electromagnetic things or whatever.
Stuff. Yeah. They do it by science stuff.
Yeah. Boring now. Yeah. What happened to the old taste it if he drops it? That's pretty hot. Yeah.
Well, actually, my mother made a comment to me once, Phil. She said, "How am I ever going to survive without you here to correct me?"
It's like an old John Prime song. Well, not that old, but before he passed away. He had a song like, "Who's going to throw out the trash when I'm gone?" Yeah.
Same thing. So I apologize, Phil. I saw a big word last night that I've been reading wrong for 45 years of reading.
Yeah. So how do you know you're reading wrong? It says,
well, because I saw it and I went, "Oh, it's hyperbole." Hyperbole? I went, "Yeah. Wait, it's spelled hyperboil. I've been reading it hyperboil for all my years." And then I felt really stupid. So I corrected myself on that one. Now, if we're going to go through some Scoville heat units, let's see.
So Tabasco is pretty mild. It's like one of the lower ones.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering with the difference between 2,500 and 5,000, if that is, or maybe the pepper's hotter some years.
Yeah. So what's the magnitude? It's like an earthquake. Yeah. Now, you've been in an earthquake.
I have.
And I've been in an earthquake.
Yes.
And it's a big difference between a 5 and a 6.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's 100 times more powerful.
That's
so
right.
every 1 point it goes up, it's times 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's maybe 1,000 times more powerful.
And then aftershock.
Yeah, the aftershocks. Yeah. So what's the most powerful one you've been in?
Well, the one in San Francisco that
the baseball one.
The baseball one. My hometown was like an hour and 10 away, or like maybe an hour driving straight, and my desk shook. Like I'm talking to someone on the other car dealership, right. And they went, "There's an earthquake." I'm like, "Just don't worry about it. It'll be over in a minute. Just I need to speak to George."
That was the Lower Pierre earthquake.
Yes, that's it. And we actually had parts drivers that had been on that road that collapsed earlier that day, but it shook so much it felt like I was in a 5. And I had to get under my desk. My friend pulled me out because I was behind glass, and we weren't near the epicenter. So that was probably the most scared I've been in an earthquake. And we had cracks in the blacktop at work, and it was frightening.
Yeah. The biggest one I was measured at 7.1.
Yep.
In Southern Cal.
Yeah, they had some.
God, that was a big wake up call. That was probably the strongest one since then. That would have been 25 years ago. And early morning, and all of a sudden you hear this rumble. Remember that
noise?
That noise.
And did you? Well, because I grew up with it. Did you learn to look at like if you had hanging plants or a lamp?
You learn to look at everything real quickly.
If it starts moving.
Yeah, we were in the bed, and all of a sudden the rumble wakes you up, and then you notice the flashes outside of all the light things. The phone pole, whatever they call them out there, the electric poles. Yeah. The boxes up on top, they're going. And everything in the house is moving. And because I used to do a lot of earthquake mitigation. So I had everything pretty well tied down. So like everything that was high was tied into the wall. Yeah. Then you worried about, is it going to pull the wall down with it? And everything stood up. We didn't lose anything. And you looked outside afterwards when you finally got nerve to get up. Yeah. And like we had a pool in the back, and it was like a tsunami in the pool. It's an e-ticket ride when you go through that. Yeah, your heart's going a mile a minute, and even though it was only like 15 seconds or something like that, it's like, when is this going to stop? That's what you're saying to yourself. When is it going to stop?
And has it stopped? And then how quickly is that?
Yeah. Then when's the afterquake?
Yes. Yeah. And my mom would then get up, put her makeup on and her good robe on, and do her hair.
Well,
if we had to go to the street.
Because you don't know when you're coming back.
That's exactly. Which is taught to me.
But the other thing I tell everybody, especially people who've never been to California, is, well, you can't do it anymore, because at the beginning of your phone book was all the things that you should do during an earthquake. Now there's no more phone books. So you got to Google it. But it's always because if you go to California when we're able to travel again, okay, the probability of hitting an earthquake is quite high, especially on a full moon, because of gravitational pull. So it's more likelihood, and you need to know what to do.
You do, and I was just talking to Ainsley, my daughter Ainsley, about I used to have stuff in my trunk of my car just in case anything went wrong.
Because if the roads are blocked and you need good walking shoes, you need some water.
Always had an old pair of flat shoes in there. And
okay, let's get back to the hot sauce.
That's exactly right. So what will rock you out a little bit more is so cayenne to jalapeno. This surprises me. Jalapeno peppers have 2,500 to 8,000 Scoville units, but cayenne is 30,000 to 50,000.
Jumps a lot.
It does. And so then we're going to get into some hot sauces. So Blair's After Death hot sauce, that is 49,000 and change. Mm-hmm. And the Dave's Insanity is 51,000. Now that is the one. Now was it Insanity or Total Insanity? Just Insanity. Brendan had to sign a disclaimer, and he had this like a little bit on the end of a toothpick on his tongue that then burned a hole all the way through his tongue, and he thought he was going to die, and that was 51,000 units.
I think that signing the disclaimer was more of a publicity type thing.
Yeah, and it made him just absolutely...
You have to have it now,
And he was worried, which was funny.
Yeah.
Sorry. But then...
It's all part of the show.
It's all part of the experience. And then Dave's Ultimate Insanity jumps up to 90,000 Scoville units.
That's twice as hot. almost.
Yeah, that is. And it should take your head off. That's good for someone you don't like, maybe for the gag gift.
Then you got the habanero.
Yes, which is a lot of the kick-ass products that we have that use habanero, and they are 150,000 to 325,000 units.
And then we have at 700,000.
This is my favorite hot sauce name.
Smack my ass and call me Sally.
I love that so much. I don't know why, but yet I do. And after that, we've got ghost peppers. So if you are someone that decides to grow a ghost pepper and then pick it off the vine and shove it in your mouth, that's 800,000 to 1 million.
Yeah, it's probably good to go around your tomatoes, especially when you got little critters coming around at night eating your tomatoes. Let me eat one of those. Yeah.
I don't know the sound a possum makes when it's that's it.
Thump.
That's right. And then we've got a Magma Hot Sauce, which is 1 million.
Yeah. And then a big jump to the next one, to the Trinidad Moroccan Scorpion Pepper, which is 2 million plus.
And I can remember when at one point the hottest thing was Scorpion, and then
of course they come up with a hotter one, right?
Yeah, Carolina Reaper, then 2,200,000.
Wow.
It's just like, what's the point?
And then you got the this product called the Sauce Hot Sauce at 7 million. Like,
why?
Yeah.
Oh well, I suppose we do all have annoying.
And then it's like from 15 million to 16 million is a pure capsicum pepper. What is that?
So that's the hottest, like with what they get the extract for pepper spray, which is below that, which is in between the sauce and the pure capsicum.
So next time you're in a riot and the guys are spraying, say, could you put a little bit in this this bottle so I can have it for later?
For milk on your face. That is it, not
so
water.
What's all this attraction about hot sauce? Why do people want to go out and do harm to themselves?
Well,
you can't taste anything else for the next 3 weeks.
Although I have some friends that are women that love hot sauce, but some things I think it's a boy thing. I think it's a competition thing.
The boy thinks like, "Oh, you man, take this hot sauce, dude."
And just I think I've been at restaurants where people are sitting there and they're eating something, and then their brow starts sweating, and like their upper lip starts sweating. I'm thinking, how is that good?
I remember that going back to my time working in Lower Manhattan for EDS, right? And actually, we after EDS, we're Urban Trust Company, and we went out for dinner, and we went down to Umberto's, famous Italian restaurant, mafia shooting, whatever.
Same gun in the toilet in the next room.
So one of the fellows we were with, he ordered the fried calamari, and it comes with a side of sauce, so they pour the sauce onto it, like a tomato sauce.
Yeah.
And you could get the regular, which was pretty hot, then hot, and then extra hot. And he ordered the extra hot.
Right.
Okay. And he ate this sauce. He was turning beet red, sweating, but because he was paying for it, he had to finish it. I could never see somebody sweat so much in my life eating something.
A normal person would just get, I just can't do that.
Yeah.
But no, it's a...
Yeah, I think for him it wasn't so much of a challenge or pride. It was, I'm paying for this, I'm eating it.
I'm going to eat every bit of it.
And his thing was, what was his first name? I can't remember, but his last name was Drescher. Mm-hmm. And remember, I think he is Franz Drescher's brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was wrong because I remember distinctly people saying, "Oh, she was doing something else at the time before the nanny," and just like on off Broadway or Broadway,
right? Yeah,
them talking about it and stuff. And he was from Queens also, so.
Oh, that's funny. It's a small world.
Yeah, but I can't find any. I tried Googling to see, if it listed any of her siblings. But, yeah.
I'll see if I can deep dive for you. I'll have another look for you.
Yeah.
And it's people that like the hot stuff. They can find it addictive. So they get the endorphin high from it, and they keep going, and it's just.
Yeah, it's funny. The first time I had something that hot, where it was in place in front of me at a restaurant, and I said, "Oh, yeah, okay, I'll give which sauce do you want? You want the medium or whatever?" And I said, "We'll just have the medium." I was with my son, and it was not the medium. It was by mistake we got the extra super hot one. You know, so the first taste like, oh God, no, I'm not having any more of this. And then you start eating something else and it cools down, and then the endorphins kick in. Really, it's true. And then I'm saying I gotta have some more, and I'm having more. And then you're getting like, okay, yeah, I got another hit. Settles down. I need him. Yeah, next thing you know, you're like, okay, we put this on the table, and where's that dollar bill? Let's roll it up. It's like that. It is. You just keep on your body or your mind, or just goes to another dimension. And says, no, I need more of that. I gotta have. You like grabbing it. You know, I gotta have it.
I keep trying, but it doesn't work for me. Now,
in the right setting, because I think you have to have something where you're doing, like, say, Mexican food, where or even Indian food, where you have like a yogurt or a sour cream, because that will nullify it pretty quickly.
And then you can just.
And then your body like rejuvenates and says, hey, that was really good what you just did to me. Like, do it again. Yeah. Well,
we had a jar of, and it's not the hottest, we had a jar of Mount Olive jalapenos in the fridge. I think it was a birthday present or something, Christmas. And Brendan can eat jalapenos like no one's business.
Yeah.
And then he goes, the first time he had it, he goes, ooh, those are hotter than usual. I was like, and then by the end of it, he's like, oh, I'm now used to them. They're not, he was fine. Yeah. I have to give him another one. I'll see if we can get it extra.
But I remember even when we had the summer home in Long Island, and with my Aunt Connie, we talk about it a lot. And it was like, you know, they were growing like little hot peppers in the backyard, and nothing was, you know, my father used to come up with stuff, and it's not hot enough to fill. You know, she would eat them raw, and it's not hot enough. And then my brother-in-law Norman, came in, and he found these really super hot little buggers and gave it to my father. My father like, wow, I can't eat this. And then of course he has to give it to his sister. Right? He kind of tried this, and she bit into it, and it was like, failure, son of a.
Well, and that that can bring that onto a conversation later about how you can trick people with that.
Yes.
That is not nice. And it's also, they're good for you. It can like, not only the endorphins going is good for you, but there's studies that it can lower your blood pressure, keeps you healthier.
Keeps you healthier, gets your metabolism running at super hot. That's the other thing. Your metabolism on those real super hot things for the next like few hours is running in overdrive.
Yep.
So and they do say that capsicums also help you, you know, you lower your intake or whatever, because you can't taste anything else. But because your metabolism picks up so much, it's like a dietary aid. So you're on. It's like better than taking a diet pill.
Yeah, and it's good for you.
Yeah, it's natural. It's high in vitamin C. You probably never get a cold, or probably won't even what are we talking about? COVID-19. It'll kill that son of a bitch. So.
Okay, well, let's not get in trouble. Pete Evans got to be in trouble for saying he had something to kill it. But yes, if you're going to give it a shot, I'd give it a shot with that. Now, just to go back briefly, the pepper spray when the cops get you.
Yeah.
It's 2 million to 4.5 million square.
It's easy.
What are they talking about?
Some hotheads out there, you know.
Look, you throw some of the sauces we've got on the table at them, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, you think that's hot? Yeah.
Oh, you hot. Now, we've got the ultimate guide to America's most popular brands and how to use them. This is from the Chicago Tribune, and they took Instacart, was a at-home shopping, app, and these were the top 10 purchased at the time of the article. So the first one, which is no surprise, is Tabasco.
Yeah, so Louisiana Hot Sauce, distilled vinegar, Tabasco chilies, and salt. Pretty simple.
And it's simple, and it's good. Great on eggs.
Yeah.
It's nice to, like I said, it's on the diner table just to add a little kick to anything that needs a little kick.
Yeah, it's one thing over here. You don't see Tabasco. Like if you go into a place, you say, I'll have a egg and bacon roll. Could I have some Tabasco on it? Like, what?
Yeah, no. We're good for condiments on the table in the U.S. We are very good at that. Now, that only has 35 milligrams of salt per teaspoon. Some of them are saltier. So that is way more vinegary straight up. And then, sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, I remember we did a trade show one time, and Tabasco people were working with it in our booth and doing sampling and tasting and mixing it with things and just using it basically for the flavor, because they make more than one type. They have a chipotle and evergreen and so, and the different flavor profiles. And when you're just adding it into ingredients, you're not so much using it for the heat aspect as for the flavor aspect.
That's right. And the Louisiana hot sauce, which is also the Louisiana style, has the aged cayenne peppers, vinegar, and salt. This is saying it's more mild than Tabasco. I find it richer myself, and it's the same idea.
Okay. It does have with the cayenne pepper, so there's more cayenne pepper into it. So it's a different pepper also. There's Tabasco pepper.
Yep, that's right.
Which is like these little green ones there. And the other one, the cayenne, they're using in that, and it's more pure. So you're having more of a base, and it's a little bit thicker.
Yep.
Okay, so, and it's, again, all natural.
And they do a whole range. So we have a gift pack that I think has 6 in it.
Yeah.
And so there's jalapeno, there's roasted chili, all that sort of thing.
Habanero. And even on the Louisiana ones, even on their so-called hot ones, they're not all that hot.
Yeah.
They're more flavor.
And there's definitely something about the heat sticking with you depending on the type of hot sauce it is.
Yeah. And different peppers.
Yep.
Okay, bring a different heat profile. So some of them you get a hit bang right off the bat. Some like a habanero, you would taste it, you'll get a bit of a hit, and then it will keep on accelerating as you count to 10. Really, so it gets hotter and it reaches its peak at that point.
Well, when I used to use chipotle powder and brownies, like you have a bite, and you go, and then it'd just be at the back of the taste. And then so Frank's Red Hot. So there's another Louisiana style. Now, as its styles are all popular, but they're all very different from each other. And this actually has garlic powder in it.
Yeah, it has more of a blend.
Yes.
Okay, so again, it goes down to the taste of it. But on, like if you're making, your buffalo wings from scratch, we're using a hot sauce and the butter to mix together to use. The difference between using the Franks and the Louisiana, you will get a whole different taste. You get a much richer taste with the Louisiana than with the Franks because again, it's more pure with the cayenne peppers.
Yeah, and I think people, it's worth experimenting if you like wings to try different hot sauces with it as well. I mean, I know Frank's is the original, but it's not necessarily the best for your palate. You might like something completely different. And
then also, if you're making it from scratch, or even if you're using one that's already pre-blended, if it's too hot for you, add more butter, melted butter or margarine.
Yep.
That's all. And that helps bring the level down.
And don't forget dipping it in ranch. Crystal, which again is Louisiana. Now, this is what I remember seeing in my house. So that has aged cayenne chilies, distilled vinegar and salt. It's closer to Louisiana.
More robust.
Yes.
Okay. And you haven't been to New Orleans.
I haven't. I would love to go.
Yeah. One of the things that you do find, with looking around, like, because I look at what's on the table and all that when walking around, and you will find probably in most places, 8 out of 10 places will have Crystal hot sauce on the table as opposed to any other.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why we had it at our house, because Herman's from Louisiana, and it might be what he grew up with. I like it as well, but I am more into, which we're getting into now, the next one, the Mexican style sauces, because that was what I had. Yeah. Valentina, salsa picante, so that's the regular flavor. They also come in an extra hot. So that has different chilies in it. So it's got the puya chilies, vinegar, salts, spices, and a bit of sodium benzoate, which I think is for a preservative. It's thicker, and this says it has a citrus note that comes in the end.
Yeah. But it is, all the Mexican sauces are much heartier. They're thicker, more of a blend to it. So they're just by nature, that's the way they are. So if you want something that's a little bit more, again, it is fruitier. It has more of a different taste, different profile than the Louisiana. Yeah,
and I remember like putting it on chips.
And it has, it does have that more of a smoky taste to it.
It does, and it's the peppers used. And then next we've got Cholula, the bottle with the wooden cap.
Yeah,
very popular.
That wooden cap costs a lot of money.
Yes, it does.
Because if you go by price comparison, big bottle of Valentina or Tapatio.
Yep.
Okay. For what you buy a little 5-ounce bottle of Cholula, you could buy a liter bottle of the others.
Yes.
And it doesn't come with the wood cap.
No, it doesn't look as nice on your table. And the lady is very beautiful on the front of it. So depending on what you're looking at, the condiments.
Yeah.
Doesn't
the Valentina have a lady on the front too?
I don't have any Valentina. We didn't have any big. There's giant.
You got that other fella there from the Tapatio.
Like him.
Big hat on.
I sent it. I think I sent it to Dolores, who's been a guest before. There's a picture of a guy leaning over. It was a ferry crossing somewhere. It might have been San Francisco. I don't know. But in his back pocket, he had a bottle of Tapatio in his back pocket. That man is prepared for whatever's going to hit him.
Yeah. That
is my favorite.
As opposed to being down south and they have a thing of snuff in their back pocket.
That might have been in his front pocket.
So we got Tapatio, yeah.
Yeah, and the story with Tapatio is quite funny. I'm going to read this out so I don't get it wrong. In 1971, Jose Luis Saavedra, I think, Sr. created Mexican-style hot sauce in California called Cuervo. 4 years later, it was renamed Tapatio, which is the term for someone from Guadalajara. Tapatio is thick like Valentina, but no one would ever confuse the two. After a few seconds, a genuine heat floods your tongue that eclipses even Cholula. Mm-hmm. This is the hot sauce you want if you really need to spice something up, which is quite funny because I don't like hot things, but that I can eat.
Yeah, because again, the Mexican hot sauces are not over the top hot. No. They're flavor.
It is the flavor. Because there's some things that we have on our table here. Like there's a mango sauce there. Is it mango habanero? Mm-hmm. That's often a combo that goes together. Mm-hmm. And I would not get past the heat to taste the fruit. But there's so many people that enjoy hot sauces with fruit in them.
Yeah, this is a level 4 hot sauce too. So it's pretty hot.
That is, but those people that can reach the peaks and enjoy it through.
Well, maybe that's a 1. Actually, so they did the other. I thought the brighter ones be the level, but according to the label, no, this is a level 1. So this is pretty mild.
Yeah, that would be a baby one, but I'm allergic to mango, so I won't give that one a shot. Just if you ever want to poison me, that's what you need to do. Mm-hmm. Now, and then we've got the original Sriracha Sauce, which is a completely different because it's an Asian style, and it's nice to see that, there's different in the top 10. So we have an Asian style, Louisiana style, and a Mexican style. So we're crossing 3, which I quite like. The original kind of sauce originated in Thailand, but the gentleman that created it brought it to California, and it's used in Vietnamese restaurants, which we talked about.
And Sriracha is the name of a
town in Thailand, I think it is. And when we get T-shirts in, whenever we get Sriracha ones, they're out.
We're gone.
Next day. It's a big fans of it. Now we've covered those, so we have an idea.
And also one more thing about Sriracha Sauce.
Yes.
Okay, that's the original. He never advertised.
Didn't he?
Never. There's no advertisements. He's like an Elon Musk of hot sauce. He does not advertise. There's never been a commercial done by him. It's all word of mouth.
Oh, I love that.
Right? And Bill, probably, I would say by volume, he's probably 1 or 2 in the world of volume of making hot sauces.
That is amazing.
Because those bottles are big.
Yeah, that's right. And it's just like that word of mouth, and his community is supporting him, and so it goes.
Yeah.
Now, we will talk about, this kind of ties into word of mouth. So, USA Foods, 20-odd years ago, hitting 25, isn't it? You brought in different things. How did hot sauces come about?
Like everything else, it migrated in. It's not something that I had on the table all the time, but customers asked for hot sauce. Mm-hmm. So I think probably the first ones that we brought in would have been the Louisiana, because Tabasco has always been in the supermarkets and stuff.
Yep.
And so Louisiana and then Crystal, and then we got into the extreme ones, and the first extreme one was Dave's.
Yep.
Dave's Hot Sauce, and meeting with Dave, it's a real person.
Oh, that's great. So is that one of the shows you went at back in the States?
Yeah, and he's like sort of like Dave's he reminds me of like the Crazy Eddie guy of the hot sauce. Yeah, pictures of him in a straight jacket and stuff, just as a publicity thing. But he keeps on working on it. It's still relatively a small business. He loves it. He's got a passion for it, and he's into so now it's Dave's Gourmet. Mm-hmm. So he does a whole bunch of pasta sauces and things like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because people just come in and will say, what's the hottest you got?
Yeah.
So,
and I try to warn them, before they go into the extreme stuff like the Days or the Blairs, because it can really hurt you.
it can.
Those warning labels are there for a purpose. And I tell them that if you got to try it, if you never had it before, okay, put a little bit on the side of your plate, whatever you're eating. Get the little bits of the fork, just like a little tap onto it, not too much, and then put it into, with something else that you're eating, and then you realize how hot that is. That one little tenth of a gram, will blow you away.
Because there's some that, you put a drop in a whole pot of chili, and that's enough to make that whole pot of chili hot.
I don't remember which one it was, but there was one, but to fully dilute it, we'll take a Olympic-sized swimming pool. With 1 tablespoon or something.
Well, that gives us an idea with the Scoville units, how much they had to dilute it.
Yes.
And the ass-kicking people, or ass blaster.
Yeah.
Bless them.
Yeah, we met Linda at a show.
Yep.
Really nice person. And she's a very go-getter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's a great salesperson. She loves her products. She's out there and just hammering away. She knows her stuff. And Jeanette likes her because when we were first dealing, and you deal with a lot of different salespeople, they don't get back to you, they don't respond to you, like, why do you have a job? And completely, Linda, like, you send her an email, bang, 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 bang. It's like, okay, let's do this. And that's pretty odd for somebody coming from the West Coast.
That is, with the timing.
Yeah, especially Arizona, because it's, it's in the summertime, it's like 120 degrees every day, and nobody's working very quickly and fast, but no, she's like the Mimi Roadrunner, So, which is good. And I remember, like, the first time I went to California, and up my business there, and the same that I was doing on the East Coast, and going to see a customer, introducing the product that we're selling, and having a response within like 3 weeks. Yes, no, maybe, whatever. You would get a definite, leave me alone, or we're going forward. Within that amount of time. In California, it was like that 3 weeks and 3 months.
Yeah.
And don't call them on a Friday because they're either they're in traffic or they left already. It's only 11 o'clock. They left already for home. Well, they went to the beat the traffic. Yeah.
Well, laid back Californians. Yeah. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
With Linda, I remember those products, the ass kicking. We also had chili, and there's cornbreads that she had as well, and just lots of different products to fill in different gaps. And
she does a lot of things with a lot of fun to them.
Yeah,
she has one like a spin the bottle thing. You spin it, and it's like the little hot sauces, and which one are you gonna?
That's right.
Yeah, and then it has one in a outback in an outhouse.
That's exactly. Yes, I like that one. Yeah. I think that one is the ass blaster, as I have mentioned several times.
Yeah. And even the character is like the one we have here on the table, the purebred idiot hot sauce. I mean, the picture of the guy.
Yes, he's in a cut-off flannel.
Yeah, cut-off flannels. And
I don't know. What's in his mouth?
He's got it scratching his head. Yeah, stupid hurts. That's what the whole...
See, now that is for a bet.
Yeah. So, and it also has all the warning labels on here. But, again, she makes lighthearted of it, which is good because as a gift, sometimes, you want to be lighthearted.
Yeah.
And it's a good product. And it's not like buying something that's not real or it's just, just all fluff. Well, this is fluff and the real stuff.
Well, and jelly beans. There's habanero jelly beans too. I was like, please don't. We have to put those way up high because the kids would come in and go, ooh.
How about the time we got in the saltwater taffy was mango
habanero?
And habanero.
Oh, that was
and
awful.
We're mixing mixed bags. And I said to Daryl, don't put those in the mixed bags. Because the little kid's going to cry.
It was like the lady that gave me jalapeno jelly bellies on Halloween one year. She was cruel. But that brings us to things as...
So you didn't go back there the next year?
No.
So she did what she wanted to do?
She did absolutely. I didn't egg her house. I'm sure someone did, though. They're often, like, as a gag gift or a fun gift. And I remember people walking in the shop going, okay, my brother-in-law, he thinks he can have anything hot. Right. Give me the hottest thing that you have. And I was like, are you sure?
Yeah. Well, I always tell him, I said, how much do you want to hurt them? Yeah. That's my line.
It's like, do you like him or do you not like him? Where is this going? And actually, there is it was Dave's Insanity, I'm pretty sure. A friend of mine at home, her husband is a sheriff's officer. So this goes with the sheriff's stories. Yeah. So they, at home, they are who run the jail. So they were all having a contest of who could eat what and same sort of thing. So this guy got way too much of this sauce. And it gave him some stomach cramps. Mm. So he ran to the little boy's room. But he was in so much pain, he passed out and cracked his head open. And I think he broke his arm or something as well. So it became a workplace issue that they could not have hot sauce eating competitions any longer. So yes, it can be quite dangerous.
Yeah. So in the so I guess after that also in the first aid kit is Pepto-Bismol, right?
And a gallon of milk. We also have a friend who's got a very interesting form of humor. So this is hot things, but not hot sauce. And he was on a family vacation, and he thought it would be amusing to trick his father-in-law, who he evidently likes. So I don't understand where this is coming.
That's how it goes.
It kind of might have been good in his head, but not in practice. So they ordered guacamole. So he switched the guacamole for a bowl of wasabi.
Yeah, look, both green.
Both green. And the father-in-law dipped a massive chip in it, had a bite, and then kind of grabbed his throat in his chest and fell out of his...
Elizabeth!
That's right, different. And said the words, "The guacamole was off!" Fell to the floor. Now, he's never admitted that he's done that. So, Tara, if you want to play this podcast, it could be the end of it. But I think he might have learned his lesson that you shouldn't probably kill or attempt to kill
somebody. But that's also a different heat. We were talking about that before. So you get the heat of wasabi. And, it just cleans your sinuses and nostrils out. It passes and it's done. It doesn't linger on. Once it's done its job, it's gone. But you have some of the hot sauces. It stays.
Yeah, because it burns a hole through you.
Yes.
We had...
and that affects other places, too.
Well, it might clear everything out.
Yes. Which is good. It's like a cleanser.
And I think we talked about this before. For people who might not have heard all the podcasts, we have an extremely, extremely hot chip at work. And I got them for one of our gatherings with my husband. He's his group of friends. They've been friends since 5th grade. Right. But they all, they're all aging like fine wines, And there were these chips. And it was just be careful. And the first one grabbed the chip and just shoved the whole thing in his mouth. And I was just like, no! Take a little bite. And then he turned bright red and started breathing. I think teared up a little. And then the rest of them had to do it because he was in. And they were all just walking around for at least 15 minutes going... And they actually sent them home, tried to send the rest of the chips home with us. I said, no, I'm sure you can do this to someone else.
So that brings us into our next category.
Yes, chips and powders. And actually, I think we should have Brendan eat one of the jalapeno or habanero chips that we've got on the table.
Oh. That's the Blair's habanero. What's the rating on this one?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's OMG. With a little... phallic-looking thermometer on the front of it.
Have a little.
Yeah, so this will definitely hurt you. Yeah.
Let's see.
He's smelling it.
He's tasting it.
Don't give it to the dog.
No, Ralphie, you don't want that. Let's see.
He took a little.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
About the size of my thumbnail.
Yeah, thumbnail. No, but the size of a pin nail. Yeah.
Nothing yet.
Put it in.
Nothing yet. This is not a good advertisement. No heat yet.
Well, but I think I'm a bit off mic, but I think there's horses for courses. There's a high scale and people are used to it, but you can start at something like this maybe and move to it. It's quite nice. It's actually not.
Okay, put the whole thing in your mouth now, Vika.
No, he's still talking. No, he's not talking.
No, it's actually quite nice. I think for the average person who likes a bit of heat, they're manageable. Some of the stuff you guys have had is just off the charts.
Yeah, so it's sort of like it's hot, but not
Yeah.
like outrageously hot.
No,
You
won't
need to turn
scold
it a
you.
bit red,
No, but they're nice. They're actually quite nice.
So we also have,
Tapatio.
Tapatio, so they do Doritos.
Yeah.
And I've seen Sriracha Doritos as well. Have we had those? Or there's another chip that has a Sriracha sauce flavor.
Yeah. And we even had Oreos.
Hot Oreos?
Yeah, we had the Valentine's one. It was like Red Hots.
Oh, yeah, cinnamon hot.
Yes.
And we've got the powder. So we also have
Well, we have the Mexican powders, and we have the Mexican chilies, the dry ones.
That's right. And then so there's Death Rain. So Blair's Death Rain sauce. Is it getting you in a little cough?
It's okay.
All right. So there's a Blair's Death Rain powder, and there's a few hot ones, and the salts that the
hot sauce, hot salts.
Yeah, from Ass Blaster or Ass Kicking,
Yeah.
and so it's sort of you can move across different ideas of what they're doing to have the same hot flavor.
Yeah, like the hot sauce, the hot salts.
Yeah,
you could use it to rim your glass on margarita.
Yes, well, I had a taste of a very hot margarita Saturday night, and it was I was like, ooh, it made my nose run. And you can do that on Mexican corn as well. So put the hot salt on that. There's a whole lot of good stuff.
The other one that we did mention from Bob, who does barbecue here.
Yep.
His thing with the Mexican corn, mixing with mayonnaise with the chipotle and adobe sauce together and putting it on and spreading it on your cooked corn on the cob. And then adding some Parmesan cheese. Oh God. Every time I think about it, it is one of the flavor excitement things you could ever put in your mouth. It's like, where did this ever come from and why didn't I have it before?
Yes. Well, when you buy a can of like Chipotle's in adobo, it is a 2-for-1 in a way because you can chop the peppers up and they're beautiful and smoky and put them in what you're doing. But the sauce in it is made, and that can go in the mayo or anything else.
Or if you're lazy, it does come already blended where it's chopped and stuff, which is my go on it.
Well, it depends what you want to,
but you can even make a pasta sauce you can put in it. Yeah. Like a fried Diablo.
It has such a beautiful smoky smell to it, and there's plenty of hot chipotle sauces as well. And I think
it's not hot because the chipotle is a roasted jalapeno.
That's it. So you can still get by with it, but it adds the flavor. And anything in our shop that is hot is out the door quickly. So
all the Cheetos flaming hot, the extra flaming hot now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were doing an interview with the fellow from PepsiCo.
Yeah.
Probably about 6 months ago, I was watching it, and he was saying of how they came about. It was one of the workers that came up with making flaming hot. I don't know how much money they should have gave this guy as a bonus, but he says no matter what we put, flaming hot is just like at that time was just like going ballistic.
Oh yeah, because you can get flaming hot Funyuns, flaming hot Fritos, all of those things.
Yeah. And they would making everything flaming hot. I'm surprised they didn't come out with flaming hot Pepsi.
Don't put it past them. It could happen.
Yeah. Put a drop or two into your Pepsi there. Ooh, that would bring some excitement.
That could do it. We might have to come up with a new cocktail of some sort. Tequila, hot sauce.
Well, again, like we talked about with the drinks in one of the episodes, how all these things came out with the, just people saying, oh, yeah, let's put a little vanilla in the Coke syrup.
See how it changes.
Yeah.
All of that. And we also have like variety packs of like the different hot chips. So, people.
Yeah, all the Frito-Lay comes in a 30-pack.
Yeah.
And all the different hot ones. And they just redid the 30-pack, so it's a nicer looking box.
Oh, nice.
Just got them in yesterday.
Good. I haven't seen a look at
it. They used to have long boxes with the cellophane over it. Yeah. Now it's in a real box.
Oh, that's good.
As opposed to Quaker products, like the 5-pound bags of grits that it's in a paper satchel.
Yeah.
And they wrap it in plastic. And of course, there's breakage all the time. But that's just the way that they make money.
So all of our dear customers that love grits, sometimes
and cornmeal too comes the same way.
That's right. And if you're picking or you're grabbing it off the shelf, you can put your thumb through it. So often we lose a bit.
Yeah. How do you look? How do you think it works with a forklift?
Oh God, yes,
Yeah.
I get that.
And you know, to me, we talked about this yesterday because we had one bag that had a big, like the outside is still intact.
Yes.
The inside's broken. Okay. So because as soon as you bang it, it breaks. Right. And you know that when it goes to the stores just throw it away. They don't get a rebate or say, oh, I had 2 broken bags of grits, give me back my money. They just toss it away. So that's like sales that they just know that it's just going in the garbage.
There has to be. I saw you go. You had a grit emergency.
Yeah.
needed the vacuum. I do want to make a little note on as a warning. There's a spate of children that were in emergency rooms with gastrointestinal issues from eating too many hot Cheetos.
That wasn't here, right?
I know. I'm pretty sure it was Southern California. So maybe we just be careful if your little one has it.
And if you were at home,
yes,
eating hot Cheetos or anything else, and you overdid it,
yes,
right? After you got sick, then you still got a lashing, whether it's with a strap or by a tongue.
Yes, that's right.
About why did you eat so much? You didn't have to eat so much. You wouldn't have to be a pig about it.
I wouldn't have to be at the hospital at 2 in the morning.
That's right. You weren't such a pig about it.
Yes, I think parenting has changed since, but agreed.
Oh, my little you shouldn't eat so much. Yeah.
And now we've got some funny names because hot sauces, the people obviously have a sense of humor because you can deep dive this forever because the extra super hot sauces have some really good names. And there's a new one from Alice Cooper has brought out a range, and he's named after some of his songs.
Yeah. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
And Welcome to My Nightmare.
Yeah. And Poison.
Yeah. I went to that concert tour. I saw him then.
But he has his own show and everything, which he does out of his basement in Arizona.
And so he doesn't have anyone leveling the concrete out the front of his house when he's doing
probably
it.
Not. He's probably on his own golf course or something because he's an avid golfer. Yeah, but at the end of his shows, if you listen, it's on over here on PBX or something.
Right.
So you can pick it up here on the local radio stations. And he always finishes his shows because he's a dog lover.
Yes.
Always be the person your dog thinks you are.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, great ending.
That is a great ending.
That's
We need to keep that up our sleeve.
Yes, I think so. At the end of the show.
And there's also the mild to wild stupid hot. We have
I can't get it out.
You can't get it? Anal angst. You might be cut short after eating too much of that.
And the Bayou blowtorch. How about you?
That's right. And the scorned woman. And actually, Heartbreaking Dawn. We had that range for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to think of some of the individual ones. That was
because
good.
it's done by some rockers.
Yeah, it was. It was funny.
I guess they couldn't use Heartbreak Hotel.
No, Lisa Marie would be irritated with them, I think. Or is it Priscilla in charge of these days?
And we got the colon blow. Or Colin.
It's Colin. It's
right.
Colin, and maybe that might be quicker than the stuff you need to use before you test.
Yes.
And my husband's favorite,
Hurt Habanero.
He says it all the time.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about what is popular in the shop. There are heaps of different ones, but I was so excited to see because so many customers have been asking for it for a couple of years now, and now we have it, which is Texas Pete. Yeah.
And Texas Pete's not from Texas.
No, where is it from?
He's from like North Carolina. But I guess he moved there,
Well, why not? Yeah. So it is very popular. I haven't sampled it yet, but I'll let someone else do it.
Yeah, big range of Texas Pete products. And then, of course, there's Louisiana. And the Louisiana gift pack is always really popular, especially around the holiday times.
He's from Winston-Salem.
North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. It makes me think of car teams and cigarettes for some reason.
And then, of course, we got Linda's Ones, which is the ass-kicking brand.
Yep.
And Carolina Reaper, Damn Ass, Lazy Ass, and Smart Ass.
Sounds like a classroom I was in.
Yep. And of course, to make it a family thing, all the S's on her products are little
donkeys. Yeah, I don't know what you people are thinking. It's just little cute animals. It's not anything rude. And then we have the Cullies range.
Yeah, that's brand new.
Yeah, I think I've got some over there.
Yeah, very interesting products.
It's a
lot
bottle.
of different ways, and it's a black bottle, but it's the level is written on there. I'm just looking over here. We're looking at all the products sitting on the table.
Now might not be there. I thought I grabbed one.
Grab one.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
There's several. There's about 6 different or more varieties of that one. So that's brand new in the shop.
Yeah. And Melinda's, that's not too old. That's quite new. We got lots of Belinda's. So we got Nagi, Haloka. Okay, you got the 4X Reserve. That's like the hottest one. And
wing sauce.
Extra hot habanero original and the cayenne habanero wing sauce. That'll get your wings to fly.
That'll hurt. She's pretty too. That's a beautiful label.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for packaging, so.
And you got the red Savannah and the original habanero mango. So a lot of different ones, and they're all very easily marked with the heat level and a little thing on the side to tell you where it is if you can't figure out the little symbols in the front. So, which is good. So you could graduate from mild all the way to hot, or just go right to hot.
And we got the El Yucateco, which is the black bottle there. Oh, there's 3 bottles, 3 different ones I grabbed.
3 different ones.
And there's like a black label.
Reserve.
Yes, that's special.
Yes.
And the sauce is dark and
actually, you think the bottle is black, but the sauce is black.
And it's like actual Mexican hot sauce. And very popular.
It's amazing. It's a hot product, but it's keeping a cool place.
Well, there you go. But that is something that if you go to Mexican restaurants often around town that are trying to be traditional, you'll find those sauces on the tables. And then we have our Louisiana. So we've got Louisiana, Franks, Tabasco.
Dave's. You got 12 different types of Dave's.
Yes.
And seasoning from hell. What isn't seasoning from hell? That's from Linda. Also from...
Yes, that is from Linda. It's just marked slightly differently. And there's a hot sauce that goes with that. I think it's hot sauce from hell, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a little cool down time.
Yes.
And we'll be back with our secret code word. So my voice might sound different from before because we're still with the new products and Brendan's playing around with the dials.
That's right. So if you're not hearing work happening out the front or the dogs running around, we might just even sound better to you.
Yes. So we're still playing, so we like it. Anyway, so today, secret code. Barbara, I'm going to have you say this because you do it because this is from the
Simpsons. Tastes like burning. Which we're Simpsons, and anytime we have something too hot in our house, one of us will go, "Oh, it tastes like burning." Now, if you need to find us, and we are at 73 Cochrane's Road, Moorabbin, and we have hours a little bit. I'll have to go through because a few days, different days. So Monday through Thursday, it's 10 to 5. Friday, it is 10 to 8 p.m. Saturday is 10 to 5 again. And Sunday is 11 to 5.
So if you get confused, just go on the website.
And it'll all be there. Or if you hit the little chat bubble there, I'll tell you myself.
There you go. And if you want to send us an email, it says podcast@usafoods.com.au. Now, we have something special coming up on April the 10th.
We do. I'm a little bit nervous.
Ooh, don't be nervous.
We're going to have a broadcast from inside the shop. We'll be recording.
Be live and in person.
That's right. So be nice. Come in.
Yeah. Say hello.
Say hello.
We're going to have Richie there from Richie's...
salsas and burritos.
Yes.
So we're going to have some samples for people to try what is the best salsa, I think, that I've ever had here. And come in. It's fun. The weekends are always busy. Yeah. It's a bit of a party atmosphere anyway. Mm-hmm. So come on in and see us.
Yes. And should be lots of fun.
It should be.
We might scare you. Oh, that's what they look like.
I'll have to put makeup on and dress like a human. But I will do that. That's the best part of podcasting.
But actually, in saying that, you know that a lot of people now are on that TikTok thing.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, so you could see a lot of our stuff. So the girls that work with us in daytime, they have a lot of fun putting together these TikTok little videos.
Yes, and so it's the username is at USA Foods.
Oh, that's simple.
That's simple. It's awesome, and they love answering questions. So if you have replies on them, and I think they might be talking about a giveaway with so many followers. So you might want to check that out.
Can we tell them what the giveaway is going to be?
Not yet, because we haven't fully decided, but
it's almost there.
That's right. But if I were you, I'd be checking it out.
Yes, because it's a very limited edition of a product
that people are clamoring for.
Yes.
And we will just see. I don't want to give anything away and ruin things.
Okay.
And actually, we were filmed today recording this, so I don't know when that'll be up, but we seem to make sure we have a TikTok Thursday, and there's a few things up during the week.
Yeah, they do it pretty quickly.
They do, because they're young and nimble. And we'd like to remind you guys, if you are enjoying this podcast, or even if it's like mildly enjoyable, why don't you share it? Let people know. We'd love you to subscribe. We're on Apple and Spotify, Stitcher, and whatever else you find a podcast on. Let people know you like us, and if you could give us a review, that would be fantastic as well. It really helps with getting our podcast out there.
And now, Nat Nosh.
Yum.
Just don't make me choose.
So, coming in on today, Wednesday, March the 14th, National Cheesesteak Day. When was your first cheesesteak?
Actually, it was here. Like a real cheesesteak was at Sparrow's.
Yeah, Sparrow's makes great.
Yeah,
cheesesteak.
we were lucky to have them out the front for
so
anniversary.
he has a truck out there, and then I think he still has a store too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on with the COVID with his shops, but anyway, you'll find him around still.
Yeah.
And my first cheesecake was in Jersey, down the Jersey Shore. I think I mentioned that, and they use cheese whiz. Yes.
Everything sounds like it's more fun at the Jersey Shore. Is that true?
Yeah, it's different. It's not like going to Coney Island.
Well, it sounds like people might get up to trouble at the shore.
Yeah, it's Seaside Heights was a big amusement area,
right?
And then with hurricane that came the Katrina or whatever.
Sandy.
It wiped it all out.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I think it's all rebuilt now. So yeah, it's becoming summertime in America. So if you hopefully we'll be able to get back there one of these days, and maybe even go down to Seaside Heights again. I had lots of fun there with Uncle Leo.
If there's a story with Uncle Leo in it, it's a good story, but probably can't say too many on it. And then we've got tomorrow, Lobster Newburgh.
We had that before.
We have had that before. Is it so good that you have to have it again?
I don't think so. I'd rather just have lobster that is, cut in half and underneath the broiler, dawn butter. Yeah, that's the way to eat it.
And then like a
get
lobster
all
on
the
a steak.
flavor. I don't want to mix it with it. Spend that much for this poor little animal. Okay, I want to taste it. I don't want to taste something else.
Yes, I agree. Actually, my dad took me out to dinner as a small child, so I must have been 6 or 7, and I looked at the menu and I ordered lobster.
Last time I took you out. Huh?
It's probably I've always had expensive tastes, evidently, and we've got National
Pecan Day.
Pecan. It's my family. We have an issue with how I say it.
But, that's probably one of the tree nuts that you don't eat plain. It's always Pauline's and pecans.
Yeah, there's uses
pecan pie. So it's always a putting into something.
And any like nuts, like if you can grind it down, like almond meal.
Yeah.
I was making cookies and I was short about half of the flour amount, and I had some pecans from pie, like leftover from making. So it must have been like for Christmas, and I ended up sort of pecan sandying it, is where I just ground it down and used it to make up the flour. So good.
It's good to be adventurous.
It is. And my stepdad, Herman, he is from a town in Louisiana called Waterproof, and they grow pecans there. So they would used to bring them in. One would order them for Herman.
Yeah, that's why when you're in New Orleans, also there's pecans are everywhere.
Oh, yeah, and with the pralines.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And then on Friday...
Yep, it's make your own holiday day. So I think you choose one here. It's called me mac and cheese day.
That's right.
That's a good holiday.
That is a good holiday. I like mac and cheese. You can stick lots of good things in it. Like you could put crab in it. You could put jalapenos in it. You could put bacon in it.
Just put a fork in it.
That's right. And then to ruin that, you got National Spinach Day.
Oh, wait a minute. I like spinach. Maybe it was I grew up watching Popeye, you know. Brainwashed.
I like spinach too. I like cream spinach.
Yeah, but spinach is so easy to make.
Yeah, it just melts,
so,
really.
Yeah, it melts. So instead of buying like whole spinach, because then you got to wash it for about an hour and a half, try to get all this in it. So now you got it already prepackaged. I buy that, a little bit of oil, and sometimes I'll put sesame seed oil.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, some garlic.
Yeah,
Right now, here's the thing that I recently have done and married two other things into that little sauteed spinach.
Yeah.
Put corn in it, frozen corn.
Yeah.
And then sun-dried tomatoes.
Oh, that all sounds really good, but I never would have thought of putting them together.
Neither did I. Okay, but I have done it, and the blending of the taste, it's really, really good because I don't know, the corn has a little bit more texture.
Yep.
Okay, and the corn is a little bit sweeter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with sometimes the spinach is bitter, and then of course the tomatoes and spinach go together.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They do.
And it cooks down in like 2 minutes on a hot skillet. Just like cooks right down. And then you think you're starting with a lot. Like I can't fit into it. And then where did it all go?
That's right. You've got a lump at the bottom.
Yeah. But I think I did that because I was at the end of the spinach bag and it wasn't that much. And I said, what else could I throw into it? And then I found the corn in the freezer. So I put some corn into the thing, just right out of the freezer into it. And I said, no, I need some more flavor into it. And Jeanette made some sun-dried tomatoes with garlic, of course, and the olive oil, and that went into it. And
well, as we have found doing this show, all the good stuff comes from just necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah, we're just throwing it all in.
Yeah, so there's when you're out there cooking, you can't figure it out, just throw it in.
Chuck it in.
Yeah.
And then we've got.
So if it's no good, you chuck it in, then you chuck it out.
That is true. That's when you go, maybe we'll just get takeaway tonight. Yeah. We've got, cinnamon toast. That's like, it didn't work out. We're having cinnamon toast for tonight. National Spanish Paella Day.
Oh, I love paella.
I love, now, do you remember on Seinfeld? Jerry's parents come to visit from Florida. And Mr. and Mrs. Costanza.
Oh, that's right. They were going to make the paella.
But Jerry, they make paella. And the Seinfelds are like, we're not going over there. We don't want to do it. And paella, we have friends that are all have big paella pans and do it regularly.
And the best part is that crunch on the
bottom. It was, paella is beautiful. Oh, Sunday, March 28th.
Something on a stick day. Sounds like we're going to the fair.
That's right. Or you can get the Twisty Potatoes. Mm-hmm. And there's a new something on a stick. I saw this on TikTok. Yeah. You slice some potatoes and then you put like a chopstick so you don't slice all the way through it. Right. And you chop it up and down. So what is that? Vertical. Mm-hmm. And then you flip them over and do it on an angle. Still with the chopstick, so thin little bits holding it together, and you can kind of accordion it out, and you put that on a stick, and you bake it, or you just eat
anything's more tasty on a stick.
That is exactly right, fried Twinkie.
Yeah. And then it's also National Black Forest Cake Day. Now we had a discussion about that because between Black Forest cake and German chocolate cake, two different things. But Black Forest has the cherries in it.
That's exactly right. I'm not, I like cherry and chocolate, but I'm not huge fruit and chocolate. I mean, it depends. I do like cherries, and I like a tart like raspberries or strawberries with chocolate.
But using the black cherries, the dark cherries.
Yes,
you're not
that's
using
good.
Maraschino cherries. No.
Oh, no, because that's other.
Yeah.
I could get sick on eating maraschino. I have a weakness for maraschino cherries. Yeah. And we've got on Monday, the 29th, National Lemon Chiffon Cake.
Yes. I don't know. I get chiffon cake. I think of, what's her name? I can't think of her name. Dinah Shore. Like coming down with the big chiffon dress. Like,
I love a chiffon cake. It's good. It's high.
Yeah.
And you use oil in it. Like Penny, when she was with us, we were talking about it. I will make a chiffon cake and bring it into work. But I like it because it's very tall. You can eat a big piece, but it's not going to kill you as much as a piece of mud cake. It's almost like a health cake.
Oh, that's good. It has fruit in it. It's
so
citrus.
Much, that's right. And it's got air.
Yes. And then, speaking of good and goodness, look at the next one. Tuesday, March 30th.
Yes.
National Turkey Neck Day. Well, I can't say that word, but who thought of Turkey Neck Day soup?
Ew.
First
of all, don't you use your turkey neck to make your gravy?
Yeah, but now you don't get the turkey neck when you buy the turkey. So this is an old school one left over from when you buy turkey and chickens, you have the giblets and all that inside the pocket, and all.
Yeah,
it's just like, could we just call it turkey soup, Mom?
Yeah, that's all you need. Just to
I don't need to know. It's like, putting turkey feet into it and then it's sticking out.
Well, you met my old dog that we had, Cooper, who was awesome. And when I was making Thanksgiving, he would spend the entire day either standing under the counter where the turkey was or under the oven. Like he would sleep there. And occasionally you would get a turkey neck. And one time we gave it to him. He was the happiest dog that was ever happy. He lost his mind. He rolled over on it.
My dog has a kid, Muggsy, boxer, and he was the same way with turkeys. I think it's just a wild smell.
Yes, it's very gamey.
They just go off on it.
Yeah. So Cooper's eyes just about crossed. He was like, "Oh my goodness!" But yes, if I'm making a soup, I'm not telling you the little bits and pieces I put in it to make the broth. I'm just not.
Okay. Don't ask no questions. It's like the Twilight Zone.
That's exactly
type
right.
Of soup. Yeah. Who's in that one? I don't know.
Sweeney Todd.
Okay, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
Yes.
And we're getting down to the end. So that's it for this week. And don't forget to come see us.
Yes, that's right.
Put that down in your calendar. April 10th.
April 10th. Now, I'm not sure. We have to work out the timing that we're doing it, but that'll be out in the website.
Stay tuned for more details.
That's right. And
next week is Easter.
We have to talk about Easter.
Oh, already? We just finished Christmas.
I know. Have you seen too many people? Are you grumpy now?
What comes first, Easter or New Year's? No, I said that wrong.
Yes, you did.
Christmas or New Year's.
It depends on which end of the calendar you are. But we will talk about maybe some differences. Mm-hmm. And I need to come up with a vegan Christmas or vegan Easter lunch this year. Oh. So ham's off the menu. Well, no, ham's on the menu for some of us.
Yeah, can't even do no eggs, no nothing.
Yes, because it is an egg holiday, isn't it? Which we will discuss.
Okay.
All right. So now each week we kind of say a different signature goodbye. Mm-hmm. And this week I'm going to leave it to you, Phil.
But he's not American. It says signature American sign off.
Yeah, but it was Entertainment Tonight, or it was on, or whatever he was on. Was an American.
Lifestyles of the
Rich and Famous.
Yeah. Robin Leach. Lifestyles of the Rich. Robin Leach always used to say, "Man, champagne wishes and caviar dreams." Robert Leach. I can't do Robert Leach yet.
That's okay.
Yes.
But we've got that.
You got the idea.
Yes.
Or, Google Robert Leach. Yeah.
Or,
the lifestyles of the rich and famous.
We can change that to Dr. Pepper Wishes and Habanero Chip Dreams.
Don't leave your day job. Okay.
See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.